Our next Mighty Fine poet is one of my favorite men in the world. His name is Michael Mlekoday.
I'm talking to you, Will!
Howdy.
Hey!
Woo! Hi, Michael.
Hi, Adam.
I like the suit. I like your beard. Cody? Stellar.
I think my 3-year-old nephew is Jesus. I was babysitting him one day and I asked him what he wanted to do. He said, me want to saw the dinosaur movie. I said, Ryan, don't you mean I want to see the dinosaur movie? He said, no, I want to say, me want to saw the dinosaur movie. Nah. And I'm not too used to losing arguments to toddlers. I'm a champion of debate. My friends have observed that I would rather lose a girlfriend in an argument, and I've proven them right in several occasions. And when my 3-year-old nephew beat me in an argument about grammar, I figured he must be the baby Jesus. I rushed out the next day and bought the most obnoxious bumper stickers I could find. It said, your son might be on the honor roll, but my nephew is Lord and Savior. And I started writing down everything he said as if they were parables. He said, when I grow up, I want to be a fire truck. He must have meant he's come to wash away the fire of sin that we've been building. And he said, I tried eating the rain, but I swallowed a thunder. And he must have meant he's got the wrath of God echoing around in his belly. And so I told my psychologist of 6 years that I was quitting therapy because my nephew is the second coming of God and I have to go spreading his teachings. She seemed a little skeptical. So I set out to prove it. I found a dead leaf, named it Lazarus, brought it to him as a burnt offering and asked him to raise it back to life. And he didn't know what to do. I guess all he could think of was his mother and his scraped knees because he just kissed the leaf and said, all better. And as goddamned adorable as that moment was, I knew once and for all that my nephew was not actually Jesus. But questions of divinity aside, the kid still beat me in an argument, so I kept on studying his teachings. He said, when I grow up, I want to be a fire truck. He must have meant that his imagination will not be limited by issues of basic physical makeup, and that he will grow up to be whatever the fuck he wants to be. And he said, I tried eating the rain, but I swallowed a thunder. He must have meant it is awful hard to keep your chin up when it's storming outside, but even thunder cannot shake a boy who eats dirt on purpose. And he said, can we fix it? Yes, we can. And I'm pretty sure he stole that one from President Obama or Bob the Builder. But whatever you think of either one of those heroes, my nephew is right and his message is clear. We can fix it. And yeah, maybe my nephew isn't Jesus, but he is a God, which is to say he is human. He's got more than one miracle up his sleeve. He cannot walk on water, but you wouldn't know it by looking at him. To watch him play with his train set is to believe in everything you've forgotten about since puberty. To hear him ask the question, why, is to understand the oldest prayer we have. Maybe my nephew isn't Jesus, but me want to said that he is.
The next mighty fine poet is the amazing, the insurmountable, the just really freaking awesome Michael Mlekoday!
Excuse me, friends.
I think my greeting changes how much I drink. So if I read again, it's gonna be like, This is a new poem I just wrote. Northeast Minneapolis. Next door is a mansion recently built on the burial grounds of a low-income housing project. At the end of the block is a new art gallery. My father lived here for 64 years, and he tells me, watching your neighborhood change isn't really that bad at first. But then your memories start to go, and they always do, and one day you wake up unable to recall what color the house across the street used to be, and nobody's lived here long enough to remind you. Watching the families you grew up with move away, he says, is pretty hard. They leave independently of one another, but always with the same mechanical quiet, the same upturned palms, the same smiles that are too old and too broken to be compared favorably to white picket fences. Watching the college kids who moved in across the street, my father yells, spend their nights puking whatever daytime was left in their stomachs onto the same porch where you had your first kiss is like setting fire to every photo album your mother made you promise to keep. Watching your mother die slowly. And then again, every night as you sleep is not something you talk about to your son when he visits you once a week. You take him to the only restaurant in town that's owned by somebody from town, and you talk about hockey. You talk about the new priest at Holy Cross. You don't talk about being alone. And he doesn't. It's different, I imagine, being the last person left in a house. He took down the wind chimes right away, stopped watching horror movies after dark. We half expected a haunting, but nothing lingers in this neighborhood anymore. I wish he named me Napalm, Wrecking Ball, patron saint of obliteration. I pray to every god who keeps a flood close to his heart. I ask for new beginnings, because this neighborhood, Noah's Ark for all the old Polacks, where we built houses and families and churches and speakeasies, where we built a new Poland, has now been bought by outsiders and transformed into every other gentrified city. This neighborhood has to die. And I keep telling myself I believe in resurrections, but it's been a while since I heard a good ghost story. All of them were set here. 1, Jadok in his rocking chair in the basement. 2, the rumble of Baba's dice in the dining room. 3, the undying smell of vodka from the den. 4, the old polka musicians who remember the days when Polish people still hung out at Nye's. 5, Saint Alexis Toth, who fought against the Archbishop's attempt to Americanize the Catholic immigrants. 6, the rubble of the 35W bridge, which has found its way down the Mississippi. 7, tomorrow, I will set fires.